can't eat this! So the NYX Face Awards Top 20 Challenge is Animal Kingdom. I've come to the zoo today to try and find some inspiration, prepared with my kitty cat t-shirt. So let's go see what we can find. Alright, so we've made it all the way to the end of the zoo, next to this baboon mandrill thing. We're gonna go check it out.
Daniel,
What?
did you decide what you're doing for the top 20 of the NYX Face Awards?
I think so! What's up, you guys? I can't believe I am in the top 20! It honestly is because of all of you guys that voted, and I'm going to need your help again to help push me through this next round. If you are watching this video right now, please go to faceawards.com and vote for this crazy monkey, because I would love to continue competing in this competition. And thank you. Alright, now let's get on to this video. So this look has a very obvious face prosthetic, so I'm going to begin by breaking down how to make this nose. Using a live cast will work best for this, but if you don't have one, you can use a mannequin head or even a flat surface, but I definitely recommend something representing you because it's going on your face anyway. So, use an oil-based clay to mold out what you want the nose to look like. Use small bits of clay and build onto it to create that desired look. Now remember that the clay may feel a bit tough to begin with, so you can use a hair dryer to soften it up a bit. Grab a few sculpting tools as well to help smooth out and perfect the nose, and then once you're happy with how it looks, dust it off completely with baby powder to get rid of any loose clay. Now this mouthpiece is leaving a wide open space, so I'm just going to cover it up with a thin layer of clay, which is going to be cut out once the prosthetic is actually completed. Now how do we mold the prosthetic, you ask? Well, first we need to surround the mold with an edge of clay. This edge should be about 1/8 of an inch away from the sculpture and surround it completely. Oh, and don't forget to plug up any holes like our nostrils. And once it is surrounded, use a sharp tool to create a strong edge that is even and square. Then blend out the opposite edge outward. Next, we get to build an even bigger wall. This wall is going to hold in all of the plaster, so be sure that it is strong and fortified and completely secured to your live cast face. Alright, now the next step is super important. You need a releasing agent, whether that is vegetable oil, petroleum jelly, or in my case, an aerosol releasing spray. You're gonna need to use one of these if you want your live cast to come back from its plaster facial in one piece. I generally use 3 coats just to be safe, but be sure to get in every single tight space. Once you're covered, pour in the plaster. This is a powder and water mixture, so once the plaster is completely covering your sculpture, you may need to burp the mixture a bit to release any air bubbles. Alright, now let that dry for about an hour, or until you can scratch the surface and have no residue under your fingernail. And if you put a thorough coat of release spray, the mold will come off, and all you'll need to do is scrape off all of that red sculpting clay from your live cast, and your mold, and finally, the last step. Our prosthetic is going to be made with gelatin, so what you will need is gelatin from any grocery store, glycerin from any pharmacy, and some water, of course. Mix these ingredients with equal parts and stir them together to activate the gelatin. Now, I'm gonna warn you right now that plain gelatin is one of the worst smells you will ever smell in your entire life. So, to try and mask the scent, I scoop in some delicious British rose body butter from the Body Shop and mix all that together. Go ahead and pop it in the microwave for about 10-second intervals until the gelatin is completely liquid, and you are now ready to pour it into your mold. Fill it up completely and place your live cast face down and give it a firm press to set it into place. Let that gelatin sit for a bit until it dries completely. Then gently remove the 2 pieces and dust off the gelatin with baby powder. This is a very important step because the gelatin is going to want to stick to itself. So slowly start to tug the gelatin out of the mold, continuously dusting it with baby powder and being careful not to rip it. Once you have got it out, it should fit your face perfectly. Well, I mean, that is if you used your own live cast. So now we gotta color it in. As you can see, I've cut out the mouth and the nostrils to help me breathe, and I am painting it completely with NYX's SFX cream colors. To get the gray color, just mix black and white, obviously. Alright, now we get to put it all together. Now a baboon has an elongated head, so we're gonna need to stuff our bald cap with some tissue paper. If you look like you got yourself a cone head, you're doing it right. Secure the bald cap with some liquid latex and remove any excess off of your head. Now before I paint my face, I always put in the contact lenses, because it usually takes me about 30 times to try and get them in. Okay, now to paint our face, we will be adding different layers. The first layer is going to be brown, and also we need to cover the bald cap with liquid latex to create a skin type finish. For the next step, we need to cover our eyebrows with some petroleum jelly, because we're going to be using a foam latex prosthetic as a brow bone, and we don't want any of our eyebrows to be ripped out afterward. Now, all of these prosthetics that I am using are going to be put on with liquid latex. The next layer of paint is black. Black on our scalp, and black over our mouth because our baboon prosthetic will give us our new mouth. I then am going to use gray on the highest points of the face and fill everything else out from there. Right now we look more like a gorilla than a baboon. But not to worry, our next step is to add the crepe wool for our baboon hair. Here's an important tip. When laying down hair, start from the back and move forward, as if you're laying down shingles on a house. Now, I've never laid shingles down on a house, but what I'm saying is try to layer the hair from back to front, so that way it looks more natural. I will be using 3 different colors of crepe wool today, such as this blonde color for our monkey beard. And now it is time to put on our nose. Once it is on, it is easier to tell the proportions to modify. For example, I am adding in an upper lip and more skin around the nostrils. I'm doing all of this with some scar wax, which easily sticks to our gelatin prosthetic. And once we have given ourselves a nose job, paint it all in to match. Okay, now things are about to get really hairy. This is another very important safety tip, probably the most important safety tip. There are 2 critical products that you're going to need when you're laying down hair onto your body with adhesive. One of them is a methacrylate-based skin barrier that will protect you from ripping off your body hair. The second product is isopropyl myristrate. I know it's a mouthful, but this product is for the aftermath and removing all the prosthetics and adhesives from your body. It's also found in most body oils that you can find at any department store. Alright, moving on. Starting on the shoulders, I've attached some black synthetic hair to give us some sort of mass. Right on top of that black hair, I am placing a deeper blonde piece of crepe wool to help follow the reference photo that I have for an actual baboon. Male mandrill baboons have very large shoulders and a big mane, so this is exactly what I'm going to execute by adding more layers of hair and teasing each layer to make it appear larger and larger.
Wow!
The last layer of hair that I am laying down is actually not crepe wool. It is going to be yak hair, which is much more coarse and straight, and it's extremely thick, which is why it's going to be the last layer on the face and our body. Be sure to place the yak hair on your cheeks to really fill out this giant mane that we're going for. And to bring back our elongated skull, we're going to be placing yak hair on top of our head. Now, with all of this hair on our face, we need to really bring back the proportions to our snout. So using the same process as before, build the wax up to give ourselves another nose job.
What?
Hey, where I live, there is no shame in getting another procedure done, okay? Now, the teeth, by the way, are just made with a very lightweight air-drying clay that can be found in the kids' craft section, to be honest. And just tear off a piece, shape it like a tooth, and pop it on. Then paint everything back in with NYX's SFX cream colors. To shade in the teeth, I am using a selection of browns and yellows from NYX's Ultimate Shadow Palette. And now we are finally ready to move on to the last step. Paint your arms black to match our body, and be sure to put on a skin barrier because we don't want any of our arm hairs to rip out. Same process as all the other hairy parts. Start to attach the hair to your arms until you've reached complete monkey transformation. And for the final touch, I am putting in a white soul patch, just to give this monkey a bit more flavor. Boom! We are all done! You can now carry on with your own routine monkey business because you are officially a mandrill baboon from the animal kingdom. Alright. Oh, I hope you liked this baboon look that I did for the top 20 NYX Face Awards. Yay! Remember, I need your help to vote in this next round. All you gotta do is go to faceawards.com, find my name, DanielzROTFL. Go ahead and vote 3 times per day per email address. I would love to go to the next round. And don't you think this monkey deserves to go to the next round? Thank you everybody that votes, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.